Word to your mother, boys and girls. It's your boy Sniper West coming at you here from winnersandwhiners.com. And this is Betting in the Break. I'm actually your host today. Loud Esmond had some stuff going on, so I'm going to take a shot at hosting the show myself. And I brought in none other than Rye Cape himself, Mr. Tom McCreena, to help me out. We're going to go over some college games and give you guys some action for the evening. The whole premise of this show, Betting in the Break, is if you lost money early in the day, then we are going to give you some late night bailouts. If you made a bunch of money earlier in the day, then congratulations, pat yourself on the back, and we're going to give you some more winners so you can take it to the bookie. Speaking of the bookie, Mr. Scott Keyport, I guess he had some stuff come up at the casino. Maybe somebody wanted to place a $100,000 wager, and they had to go in the back room and talk about it. Who knows? But that's cool. Me and Tom are just going to go over some games here, mainly college football, and we might get into some NFL in a little bit here. Tom, we were talking offline. It sounds like you did not have a great morning. How'd the morning treat you?
Yeah, the morning wasn't the best. I had an NHL play, the Ottawa Senators and the Tampa Bay Lightning. I took that under 6.5. They scored 9 goals in that game. And then right now I'm on Texas Tech. And last I looked, they were still losing. It wasn't looking good. I do have 2 college premium plays and a NHL premium play pending. So if you want to get in, Tom McCreena, Winners and Whiners.
There you go, winnersandwhiners.com. That's the place to get all our action. Just kind of taking a look at my slate. Most of my plays are actually still going. I have Tennessee +3. They are actually leading Alabama 21-17 right now, which is good news for me. I was right there with you with Texas Tech. I laid the points, and it was not a good play. I knew when that line went down to -4.5, it wasn't going to be good news for us. That was not a bad beat, just a bad play on my part. USC Maryland, I got a chance at the over. I have over 57. They're at 50 points, 8 minutes left. I have New Mexico on the money line, and they're down 2 scores. We'll see what happens there. But I do have some plays going for the evening. Speaking of plays, actually, I'm going to go ahead and get to, because I have a game for you guys, and it's actually about to go off in about 13 minutes. It's going to kick off. So that game, without any further ado, is going to be Georgia and Texas under 57 points. So Georgia's 5-1, Texas is 6-0. It's pretty interesting. The Bulldogs are 1-5 against the number this year, and Texas is the opposite. They're 5-1. So Texas covers a lot of spreads, and the Bulldogs do not. Steve Sarkisian, it's an opportunity for him. It's their first time going to, Austin and playing Texas there. So it's, they want to make a statement about their rival in the SEC. Georgia, they've won 44 of their last 45 regular season games, and they've maintained a top 10 ranking for 57 weeks. So obviously the Bulldogs are the real deal. We all know this. But I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I mean, you have NFL athletes on both sides of the field, like on the defensive side particularly. So I think it's going to be kind of a grinded out game. And I think especially the first quarter. In fact, first quarter under, I would not be mad at that play, because I think it's going to be kind of a feel each other out type of game. I'm going to take the under 57 between Georgia and Texas here, and that game kicks in about 12 minutes. So if you want to get that in, you have about 12 minutes to do so. As far as some other plays that I have, I'll just go ahead with my plays here. So I like Iowa State tonight minus the 13.5 over UCF. So Iowa State, they won 28-16 over West Virginia. Their running back Carson Hansen, he had 96 yards. He scored 3 touchdowns. But his starting position isn't guaranteed, because the Cyclones, they have a deep backfield. They have 3 running backs, right? They have Hansen, Agbusama the third, and Jalen Jackson. So I think they're going to use those 3 running backs, and they're just going to pound the ball down UCF's throat. Matt Campbell, solid team. I think they play well. I think they use that 3-headed monster at running back, and I think they are going to blow UCF out, and I'm going to lay the 13.5. I really like that play, actually. And what do you got on tap here for us tonight, Tom?
Yeah, I like Iowa State too. But I have a late night game. We have 2 late night games this evening. So the first one is UNLV against Oregon State. I like UNLV on the team total over 34.5. You could still get that minus 105. So last week, UNLV was an 18.5 favorite against Utah State. They took the foot off the pedal. They didn't cover that number. I think we're getting a better number here. They're a little undervalued because of that. All Hags games have gone over the team total by an average of 16.7 points. All of it starts has cleared this number as well. Oregon State's defense will be the worst unit on the field. They are susceptible to explosive plays. UNLV should be able to take advantage of that. I also expect them to come out focused because they were let down in the second half last week. A reason I'm not going with the spread is because Oregon State is 12-2 straight up at home, and Corvallis is a tough place to play. I think this is a split. If you look at the splits, they're pretty even, and the money's been moving towards UNLV. I just think it's safer to go with the team total over 34.5.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not mad at that play at all. And actually, that actually kicks off at 10 Eastern, so you got a lot of time for that play. I think you said you had something with Utah and TCU as well, and I think that game's one of the last games on the board as well. So you guys got a lot of time to get these plays in. Did you have something with Utah and TCU?
I sure do. So this is a slaughter game, and the way I think about the slaughter game is if you're taking a side, it's either dog or pass. In this case, the slaughter game, you figure it's a lot of people trying to get back their winnings, or they want a lot and they're trying to go for the easy winner. But we're going to go with the total here. We know that Rising is done for the year. That means Wilson's going to start. The Utes will rely on the run. They have to, actually. They're last in the Big 12 for passer rating, which is 118th nationally. Defensively, both teams match up well. TCU is good passing team with Jake Hoover, but they're facing a good secondary. Utah is number 3 in completion percentage. Another thing, TCU is coming off a bye. They may be sluggish early. So I think TCU can get chunk plays, but when they do, I think we're going to see some interceptions from Utah. So they're pretty good at that, getting the turnovers through the interception. As I said, their secondary is good. So I like here TCU Utah to go under 23.5 in the first half. That's minus 120. I think it's a good number. I actually like the 24. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 23.5. If you like the plus money, take the 24.
Yeah, you got obviously Ncaa Rising, and you got Isaac Wilson, who is actually Zach Wilson's younger brother, right, from the NFL, playing quarterback for the Utes now. So interesting little side note there. So that is your college football content, boys and girls. We are going to jump right over to the NFL now, and I have a little dilemma here, Tom. I'm going to run this by you right here on the show in front of the entire United States of America and the entire world. So I am still alive in my survivor pool, and I know that you were actually in Ncaa, right? And you got bounced pretty early.
Yep. Yeah. First week and second week.
Yeah, you and about 95% of the everyone else who played. But I was in a pool of 10,000 people, and there are now 120 people left. And I actually have some good teams left. But I am actually, and this is going to tie into the game that I want to talk about, because I'm going to talk about, hands down, the best NFL game on the docket tomorrow. This is just an unbelievable game. It is the Patriots and the Jaguars. And I'll tell you what, this game is in London, and I'm going to roll with the Jags for Survivor. So hear me out. I know I'm not going to use Jacksonville the rest of the year. Obviously, they're not a very good team, but I think they're better than the Patriots. I think they can get the dub. If they don't get the dub, I think that Peterson's probably going to be gone. They might fire him Lane Kiffin style on the tarmac before they even head back home. And it's kind of just a situational play for me. I know I'm not going to use Jacksonville again. I have some other opportunities, but they're favored by 6 for a reason. What do you think about my Survivor pick, Tom?
I don't know. What are your other options?
I got some other good teams, but you have a play. You have a prop for this game. Why don't you tell the viewers about your prop, and I'll tell you who I have after you do your analysis.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know how Jacksonville is favored by 6 points. It's just crazy. But yeah, both teams are 1-5. I think weather could affect this game. It's supposed to be rain and 20-mile-per-hour winds throughout the whole game. I'm intrigued about Drake May. He's making his second start, and he's going up against the worst passing defense in the NFL. Jacksonville looks broken. That's one reason why I probably wouldn't take him for Survivor. Peterson looks like he doesn't care. Lawrence has been awful. the wide receivers don't catch the ball. This team is in bad shape. But I don't trust the Patriots either. So, yeah, that's why I'm going with anytime touchdown by Demario Douglas. He caught 6 to 9 last week. May loves to throw to the slot, and it looks like they have chemistry here. You can get his anytime touchdown at plus 330. If you use FanDuel, they have a boost for anytime touchdown for 30%, and that makes Demario Douglas anytime touchdown a plus 430.
There you go. Yeah, Drake May, he showed some signs last week of maybe being a decent quarterback. He's going to, obviously he's got to get the jitters out, and maybe he'll do that. We'll see what happens with that game. But I think, so here's my remaining options. So, I still have Kansas City, but I'm not playing them against the Niners, obviously. I still have Green Bay, but I'm not playing them against the Texans. I have, so the teams I have that are actually pretty good, I could take Washington minus, I think they're minus 7.5 against Carolina. My only worry about that, I faded Carolina almost every single week this year, except the week they played the Raiders. I knew they were going to show up that week, so I stayed away from them that week. But almost every other week I've been going against Carolina. So I just have I think the Commanders win that game. I'm scared about constantly fading the Panthers. I also have available, I had somebody else who was pretty good. I have the Jets. I'm not going to use them. I have the Lions. They're playing the Vikings. I'm not using them. Oh, I have the Bengals, and they're playing the hapless Browns, but it's in Cleveland, and who knows? In Cleveland or Cincinnati's defense is terrible. Who knows what's going to happen there? So I think I just have to roll the dice and go with the Jags, because if I do, I burn a team I'm never going to use, and it's kind of a strategy play. Cross my fingers and hope to die. We'll see what happens. But speaking of the NFL, so that Carolina and Washington game, I am going to give you guys a lean here. So I like the over 51.5 points here between the Commanders and the Panthers. So Jane Daniels, obviously, he's looked really good. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. And I actually said on a bunch of different podcasts that he was going to win Rookie of the Year over Caleb Williams before the season started. On multiple podcasts, I said that. I should have bet it. I should have put my money where my mouth was, but I didn't. Washington, they're leading the NFC East, obviously, at 4-2. Nobody probably thought that would happen. Obviously, you get Andy Dalton for the Panthers, so is he going to provide enough offense to go over 51.5? But Washington's offense is very potent. They average close to 30 points a game. Carolina has the NFL's worst scoring defense. They allow more than 33 per game. Both teams are 5-1 to the under, so they're both playing to the over. So they're both playing to the over in general. And Washington's D, they give up 354 yards per game. They've been involved in a lot of shootouts. So I like the over. I'm going to go Panthers, Commanders over 51.5. That is a early game. Kicks off at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I believe you have one more play in the NFL for us.
Yep. And I think Carolina scores too. So I like that play. I'll join you there. Yeah. But I also like an over. That is Seattle, Atlanta. I got it at over 52 at plus money, plus 100. If you want to do the 51.5 or minus 115, that's fine too. But Mike McDonald's defense hasn't looked good at all. Falcons defense doesn't get pressure. That should help Geno Smith a lot. His splits away from pressure are pretty impressive compared to what he does when he has somebody in his face. Seattle should also be able to run the ball here. Atlanta's defense is 24th in run EPA and 28th in run stop. Seattle defense does give up big plays. They allow 74% completion percentage in the last 3 games. So that's Kirk Cousins should have a day. He should have plenty of opportunities, big pass plays. Falcons have a balanced and well-rounded offense. I think both of these teams are going to flirt with the 30s, and we're going to get over this 52 pretty easily. Maybe like a 30-28 game.
Yeah, no, remember Kirk Cousins, he went for about 500 or went for over 500 against Tampa a couple weeks ago. And the Seahawks have been involved in a lot of shootouts. So I like that play too. So ladies and gentlemen, that will be betting in the break for Saturday. Loud will be back here tomorrow to host the NFL show. I'm not sure who he has on tap. I think maybe Scott Steen, but that's your show for today.
I'm here tomorrow too.
Oh, there you go. Tom's back. He's going to give you some more winners tomorrow. He's either going to bail you out of your hole tomorrow, or he is going to help you beat the bookie even more. Speaking of the bookie, so Scott couldn't make it, but that's cool. He's probably, like I said, he's probably trying to approve that $100,000 bet up there at Little Creek Casino. I should give him a shout out. Little Creek Casino up in the great state of Washington. Scott Keyport is the sportsbook director there. And yeah, so Loud's going to be back to host the show tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a bunch of winners tonight. And yeah, so come back for the show tomorrow. And it's been a pleasure being your host today. Hopefully it won't be a habit and Loud can come and host because I'm not used to doing this, but it's cool. So until tomorrow, we will see you guys. I'll see you guys next week for the college show again. And best of luck and may the winners be yours. Peace out.